All right, guys. You hear that sound of freedom?
Oh, a good sound. Such
you
a
guys,
good sound.
This is something that we've been trying to track down for months, I would say. Actually, it's been almost since last year at Off-Road Mayhem at Gregory Lake.
Yeah.
I told you about this little idea I had, but when I was cooking it, I didn't know where I wanted to land with it. So if you're looking for air conditioning in your side-by-side or heat, if you're looking for the quickest jack on the market for your big tire bike, your small tire bike, car, whatever you want to call it, right? This is the man himself, Jeremy, and small town guy out of Missouri.
Yep.
He came up with two of the most innovative inventions that we've had in the off-road community that, in my opinion, that's just overlooked.
It is definitely overlooked. I don't know. All the ideas come from being out in the elements, out in the wild. How about that?
In the wild.
In the wild. And accidents happen, you know. I needed a jack. I needed something I could bolt onto my cage. Something that I could straighten parts out with, if it be A-arms, tie rods, trailing arms, whatever it may be. That's kind of how the Jack Be Quick came about. Was I was always breaking stuff. I always saw a hill, didn't think it was possible. 9 times out of 10, probably is possible. Wasn't for me that day. Deleted the whole front end. You know, it's just
the whole. I hate it. You know, when you get a part on your side-by-side that just leaves the group chat, like it just doesn't even give you a warning. It's just gone.
It's gone. No hesitation. So, yeah, trees have no forgiveness.
Trees, mud holes,
boulders,
a nailing tire. Yeah, I mean, literally.
Do too.
It ain't just about bending parts back or figuring it out.
Yep.
Flat tires. I mean, I'm on a 44-inch tire, and I know, you know, firsthand seeing your jack, that it will work on a big tire machine.
Oh, absolutely. All the way up to 60-inch tire. We did Bobby Cobb's. That was Mud Nationals, I think, is the first time I lifted something that big.
Yeah.
But
were you nervous, or did you know you got that?
I felt confident, but I didn't know how much suspension travel he had. You know, and those big bikes usually are pretty stiff, so there wasn't much travel there. But it had zero issues. Got him right up off the ground, able to put a tube in that tire and throw it back on, and he finished the race.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And you guys, if you didn't know, go back and watch episode, I think it's 2, with Bobby Cobb. He talks about how massive this thing is.
Oh, it's huge.
Like, if you haven't seen it in person, it's literally big enough that it will rotate the earth the other way.
Right? Yeah, Buzzsaw is a whole nother animal. Turbocharged Pro R, that's untouchable.
It's a beast.
Yep, it sure is.
So, how long have you been in the off-road community?
Oh man, since my dad got me into it, probably when I was 5.
So was that like back before Vietnam or after?
Shortly after. No, I'm not that old. But no, man, I've been in it for as long as I can remember. You know, there was bikes and tricycles, and then all of a sudden we got our first 80cc LTD Suzuki four-wheeler. And then that grew into some dirt bikes, CR80s, and on up from there. So I've been doing it for a long time, but side-by-side world, I was a little late to the party. I've only been doing it for maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So I was always ATV guy. Even the Outlander 1000 XMR, rolling around with 35s, which was big at the time. And then I had my Renegade, which I had a really bad accident on. So that took me away from the ATVs. Wife said no more racing unless I have a cage around me. So with age comes a cage. Remember that.
We've heard that on an episode or 2.
Yep, it does. It's just part of getting older. We break easier.
Yeah. Luckily, knock on wood, I haven't had any terrible spills, but I also don't ride like you all.
Yeah, we push the limits.
I don't do anything unless it's a gravel road and some mud. That's it.
Yep.
That's all it is for me.
Nothing wrong with that either.
I ran over a couple trees last year and almost tipped it over a couple times, and then that was it for me.
Yep. But no, so the Jack Be Quick, it's booming. If you guys are ever interested, we make it for DeWalt, Milwaukee, Makita, and Rigid batteries.
And if you guys are interested, the link to order one will be in the description below for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Along with that, we came out with a recovery trailer It's called the Jack Wagon. Kind of like the name. So let's say you did delete the whole front end. You don't have the parts to fix it. You're 10 hours away from home. It's Sunday. No parts stores are open. You got to just get it off of this trail, 2 miles back to camp and onto a trailer. So what this trailer will do for you is you hook it onto your buddy's 2-inch ball on his Ranger, General, whatever he may have. Haul it out there, take the Jack Be Quick off of the Jack Wagon, you get it up high enough, you pull the trailer up underneath of it, and then the trailer itself has a jack on it that jacks up high enough, and then you strap it down to it. It's got a turntable on what's holding your side-by-side. That way the trailer can turn, and then the buggy can turn at its own free will. That way they don't bind up. So
that's pretty convenient for the guys that get lost at 3:89 in the morning after a trip to 7 liquor stores on the way.
That's right. So yeah, we try to make it to where we can always get home, and breaking enough stuff, we just came up with these ideas. And
it's super nice to hear that people aren't just looking for the next biggest thing. Yeah. They're looking also how to get the biggest thing home.
Yeah, 100%, 100% there. There's so much truth to that. But other than that, yeah, moving on to the ride and chill AC units and enclosures.
That's self-explanatory because everybody needs AC and heat.
It's becoming bigger and bigger. As sports guys, we don't really have any options. There's not a machine coming from factory that's in the Razor, the X3s, the YZXs. It's an untapped market for AC and heat for these machines. Now, heat might be available through Inferno heaters.
Yeah.
And I'm using same principles, using the radiator fluid through a heater core with a fan blowing through it. But the AC unit, now it's all 12 volt electric. I can put this on anything. Doesn't matter what you got. It will work on one battery, but the run time's a lot less. If you got the room and we could put dual batteries with an optimizer, we're seeing about 20 to 30 hour run times off those.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty good in between charges. The next biggest step that I've gone to is upgrading the stators to 1,000 watt stators. And I'm having no issues, no die time. The stator can keep up with the draw.
Wow. So what was the idea? I mean, I know from knowing you personally, but what was the idea behind putting AC and heat into a sport machine?
How many of you guys out there got women that like to ride with you? And how many of them hate getting mud and dirt and everything in between in their hair or just anywhere? They want to be nice and clean and pretty all the time.
Yeah.
And so basically, to get my wife to ride with me and do the things that I like to do as far as the mud and racing around in the dust, I had to get her comfortable.
Oh, that makes sense.
So that's
We just wanted to take a break in this podcast today to tell you about our friends over at ATM Forged. If you're looking for a set of wheels for your side-by-side or your truck, if you're looking for a wrap or a cage, the friends over at ATM Forged can help you out. Their link is in the description below, and make sure to tell them DirtyRidez sent you. Come on. Ah, oh, jeez.
Can't go nowhere. Can't go nowhere.
I guess that's the privilege of being in the wild, huh?
Yeah, always, man. You got animals running around everywhere. Because that's where we're at, boys. We are in the wild out here.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So what were you saying about keeping them pretty and?
Oh yeah, you gotta keep your women looking good, so and comfortable. And the way I had to do it was I had to enclose my machine, and then found out it got really hot during the summer, so we couldn't keep the enclosure on. I noticed a bunch of enclosures I was making for other people. Windows were coming off during the summer. Totally get it. Made sense. Downside of that is during the summer I wasn't getting any promotions. Nobody saw the enclosures. It died off for me. It wasn't until winter things really kicked off.
Right.
So I came up with the idea to keep people's windows on. I got to keep them nice and cool in there. So yeah, I took an all-electric unit basically from an all-electric car, and then started outsourcing to different businesses to get the draw down to where a side-by-side could withstand it.
Right.
And that's kind of, it all trickled from that. And then, yeah, a couple of my buddies did dare me, or didn't really dare me, just said it couldn't be done. And I'm one of the guys, you tell me it can't be done, and if I have the slightest idea that it can be, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because you see the capabilities of the Ranger,
Yeah.
Defender, and the last one that just came out,
the Ridge?
Expedition.
Yep, the Expedition.
You see the capabilities of those guys going up and up and up and up. I mean, turbo kits, long travel, portals, 60s.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you could go buy the $50,000 unit and then start your process of a build.
Yeah.
Or the couple-year-old machine that you've been, you know, building, taking care of, like,
got all that money wrapped up in all these aftermarket parts to make it look awesome, or not so stock. Yeah, this is an option for you. We can put AC and heat in there for you. To be honest, the heat, once you're enclosed, the machine puts off so much heat off of your radiator lines, you don't necessarily have to have the heat hooked up, in my opinion.
You'd be riding around with the enclosure on in the wintertime, still with the AC on.
Exactly, that's what it would take, because it will run you out of there during the winter. I mean, I've always bundled up, wife's all bundled up. After 30 minutes of riding, we are just sweating, coming out of our coats and everything else. So,
dude, I rode in Crazy Dave's. Now, it was Alabama in August.
Okay,
but I rode in his, because he didn't do he just had you do the enclosure.
Yeah.
He didn't do the AC. Oh man, I drove it a quarter of a lap. I said, Dave, I'm good, buddy. I got to get out of here. I'm going to have a heat stroke.
Oh, Crazy Dave, man. I get the biggest kick out of that guy. But yeah, that four-seater, what was that? Mud Dogs? I love it, dude. Beautiful machine. The enclosure turned out great. And I've been trying to tell him, you need this AC unit. I mean, you want these windows on all year round. You want to keep your girl in there nice and clean. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely super innovative and something that I think a lot of people look past because they're like, oh, well, I already have 50 grand into it.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't want to spend another XYZ amount for AC.
Yep.
And then you just hear them complain all summer long why it's so damn hot.
Yep.
You know, because
exactly right.
like I do a lot of mud riding, so I'm in the South, and you know it's already 94 degrees outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if that's if you're in that predicament, and let's say you're just going out to buy a stock machine and you see the $40,000 price of the HVAC, or you save $12,000, you can get it for $28,000 as a base model. Literally, for that $12,000 savings, for $5,500 to $6,000, I can give you a full enclosure with AC and heat.
Wow. So if you're a dollar counter,
yes,
definitely get the HD10 with the no enclosure.
Yeah.
And holler at my boy.
Yeah. I'd be happy to take care of you guys. That's
short drive. You're right in Missouri.
Yep, in Missouri. It's actually a little town called Mexico, Missouri.
Ain't that a weird name?
It is such a weird name. But there's several cities like that in Missouri. You know, we got Columbia, which has got MU, Tigers, and a big college there. But yeah, just a bunch of foreign countries inside of a state, basically.
And literally, Missouri is in the middle of
the
United
US.
States.
Yep.
That is a weird combination.
It really is, but it's hard to get past that, especially when I advertise. I'll put Mexico, Missouri, and they're like, "You're in Mexico?" They totally overlook the Missouri part. Wait a second, you expect me to go to Mexico? No, I don't expect
you could go to Mexico, get your kidneys removed, or you go to Mexico, Missouri,
and get your AC.
And get your AC.
That's right.
That's a good one-liner right there.
That is, man. You're sharp. You're quick on it.
So, with all the kinds of riding you do, because you race bounty course, I've seen you race the knockout course. You got a little tube chassis.
Yeah, I got some hill killing in me now, and I've done the long distance 3-hour races. I've yet to do King of the Hammers, but it's definitely on the bucket list. I've been out there, got to experience it, but I'm ready to race it.
So, out of all the things that you've done, what is your favorite?
Oh, that's so hard. That is so hard to narrow down.
It's the best question that I ask in my whole show, because it's like you get the widest variety of answers.
You do. So I'm an adrenaline junkie to the T. And nothing gets my adrenaline pumping like a stupid steep hill. Something that I know can be climbed because I see the tracks all the way to the top, but something I'm already doubting myself before I do. And inside that tube chassis, man, I really feel invincible. And I always give it a try. Good or bad, it puts on a good show for everybody else. And if I make it, it just boosts my ego that much more. If I don't, take it home, fix it, and I'm guaranteed to be back to try it again.
So where have you all rode? Like, do you just stay here in or up in Missouri?
No,
or
I'll go, I kind of travel around. It's not really a circuit that I follow. It's more or less wherever my friends seem to want to go.
Yeah.
Or the people I know are at. So we go down to Texas, WTF or Extreme off-road. We've been to Carter's in Arkansas. Let's see, WTF and Bogs and Boulders are the same, hand in hand.
Yeah, the River Run and
River Run. Yep.
Bogs and Boulders.
Yep. Let's see, we've been to, what was in Alabama?
Hawk Pride?
Yes, that's right.
They did a couple races out there. They got that spot called Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yeah, I can't say I've been to that spot yet.
Buddy?
Yeah?
There's not enough room in a luggage for you to carry the balls it takes.
to do some of that stuff?
Oh, I watch all
hills.
these videos on TikTok and Facebook of these dudes doing a long jump competition.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll literally you'll see people, and it's like, how is a razor going to land in between me and you?
Yeah.
And they do it effortlessly. It is the sketchiest.
I don't know who's got bigger of the balls, the viewers, the people watching that are standing that close, or the guy doing it.
Either way, the guys down there at Hawk Pride, like when they hit that long jump competition, it's like, ain't no way.
Yeah.
It just seems so narrow and so close quarters. It's like, oh,
that's sketch.
Man, it makes my stomach turn sometimes watching
Just thinking about it, yeah.
Because these dudes are, 10 to 15 foot in the air. And they're traveling, let's say 60, 70 foot. It
60
looks
to
like.
100, yeah, depending on how fast they're going. Yep, absolutely.
So have you done any of the mud racing?
I got into the mud early when I had ATVs with my Renegade and Outlander, but didn't really do much racing with it. I got sick and tired of rebuilding diffs, with the mud and the sand, getting in my bearings all the time. It just cost so much more maintenance. Now, I say that, and then I started doing the knockouts. You want to talk about maintenance. I'm sorry, you can't complete a knockout without several $100s of repairs. It's every time you're going to break
That's exactly
something.
why you don't see me racing.
Oh, it's so expensive. There is no money in racing. None. Unless you're some hot shot with a bunch of sponsors that are literally flipping the bill for everything, machine included. Yeah, there ain't no money in it. But we're not out here to make a living off of it. We're out here to
Were you
have some
at
fun.
Pikes when the guy drove up the stick?
Oh yeah, Moises.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I seen that, and right there I was
Jalapeno
like,
on a stick.
never, never, ever.
I mean, that's a once in a million for a side-by-side to do a full 360 roll off of a jump and land on top of a telephone pole and balance itself to the point to where he had to give it gas to rock it forward for it to flip off. I mean,
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I don't know, ever since then, I'm terrified. Like, I will not, ever. You won't even see me think about entering my machine at one of those knockout races.
I'm telling you, the knockouts are brutal, man. It's just all these obstacles like concrete boulders and little mud holes, some log jams that we have to go through, a couple jumps and a hard turn and back. But none of that sounds too bad. But when you're doing it between speeds of 30 and 60 miles an hour, it's hard to keep any machine together. I mean, it really is. You hit one of those concrete 2-foot boulders doing 60. There's very few machines out there that can withstand the brutalness. It just shears
just the sheer force.
Yep. So, it's just, I mean, all racing is brutal. I don't care what kind of racing it is. Things happen, accidents happen, but it's all about what gets you going, what excites you. We're out here enjoying this. It doesn't seem like it should be that enjoyable, but man, bragging rights over friends, just saying you did it, you didn't break anything, or just saying you entered something that got your adrenaline going.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you see those guys on like the stock utility machines.
Yeah.
Out there just giving those things the business.
And I'm blown away about how some of them handled the, you know, we got top end parts, if it's be shock therapy, or I'm not even going to name all the different brands of A-arms and trailing arms and axles and tires and bead locks. We can go days talking about parts, but stock machines going out there and doing this stuff just blew my mind.
Yeah.
You very, very rarely see them ever win anything, but the fact that they're just
they
out there
are having a blast.
Yep. And for the minimum amount of money.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's what it's all about. The richest person does not win every race.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. It's a lot about driver and just how you maintain your machine and maintenance it. And
right.
keep on top of things. Ball joints, brakes, all of it. Oil fluids.
We got to take a quick commercial break because I'm starting to sink.
But no, getting back to the products, the AC units, and man, it's about a 60 amp draw is what we're drawing, about 650 watts is what it's taking.
It doesn't seem like it's that much. Like I already run a secondary battery.
Yep.
You know, so the things that you offer in that small package of having the heat and the AC, like I live in Kentucky, like we could ride literally year round.
Yeah. And
we don't have to invest, you know, another 70 grand into a new machine and build it out because we already, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the fact that you can have this on a custom cage, you know, you can have it in your sports machine, something that was never designed to have HVAC, period. It's just been a game changer, and I'm excited to have the idea to bring it to, you know, be the first to bring all electric AC to the side-by-side world. And yeah, like I said, it's saving a lot of people money from not having to switch machines or picking and choosing. Do I want a utility machine with AC and heat, or do I want X3 or Razor so I can go climb these hills or do the races or ball haul out in the desert? There's no more deciding which way to go.
I feel like that's so huge because even like, sure, we're talking about Midwest market, you know, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, Illinois, Missouri, and then all the way south.
Yeah.
But then you think about the guys out in the desert where they can't go ride unless you have an HVAC because now it's 105 degrees outside. Yeah. And then all you're doing is adding more heat because you're in the bike.
Being enclosed, yep. No, then out in the sand, I mean, the enclosures are huge. I mean, how many of us clean sand out of our butt crack at the end of the day, you know? If you're enclosed, it keeps the sand out.
The only trick about that is keeping the door shut while you're floating through this lake that you decided to drive through.
That's true too. Yeah, that does put a little bit of a game changer into that. For the mud guys, you know, I like having an open cab if you're doing mud racing or anything like that, just in case you roll over and you got to get out. You know, fully enclosed, it's going to be a little harder to get that door open. So not having a window, you know, plus visibility. I mean, if you're in the mud world, you got to be able to see. Yeah, out the doors. You
don't need to see. You just need to point and hold the wheel.
And hope that you're going straight.
You know, that's what everybody says, right? They're like, oh, if you ride mud, it don't even take a brain cell of a penny. You could go ride anywhere.
Each to their own, I guess. But
it only takes a brain cell of a penny until you end up on the wrong trail at 4:58 in the morning, and you're on your way back to camp, and then the next thing you know, it's 7:97, and you're watching the sun come up. You don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah. Unless you got that app called Lost Riders, and you could use code DirtyRidez and get you a week trial for free. Yep. And check it out. It's definitely a game changer.
I use it all the time. I love Lost Riders app.
Hell yeah. Yep. Like, especially if you partake in events after dark and you cannot make your way back, or
you're not familiar with the park.
Yeah, it's a brand new park and you've never been. They got an SOS button. You can link up with your friends. There's so many different features of the app that if you don't have it already, you could literally click the link down below and it will load your app store and whoop, send you right off, and it works for iPhone or Android.
Not to mention every big event in the US is on that app.
Yep.
So you can literally see what's going on throughout the entire year. Your friends can plan out a trip off of those calendar dates. Let's say you all show up at different times. You don't know where everybody's at. Flip on the app. You see where all your friends are.
Yep.
You can message in between the app. It's awesome.
That SOS button, I didn't realize how much of a game changer it was till Scott and Jessica were telling me that now it's linked to the park.
Yes.
So now if you can't get a hold of any of your buddies, the park will at least know where you're at and you need help.
And even one step farther that they told me, let's say it's 3:58 in the morning and nobody at the park is answering. The next step is their 24-hour maintaining this app. So therefore, let's say it's an accident and it's an SOS because you broke your arm, you're by yourself, none of your friends are answering, the park's not answering. They take the initiative and call the authorities or the ambulance to get you out there, or to get them out there to you. So it's just it's a safe line.
Yeah,
it's a lifesaver.
And if you're not using it at this day and age, you're kind of foolish.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yep.
You know, especially if it's just you or you and your wife. And it's only $10 a month.
$10 a month, guys. That's $120 a year. And get this, let's say you don't want to pay for the whole year. You can literally shut it off and turn it back on anytime you want.
Yep. I feel like there's so many innovators in our industry that don't get the flowers, right?
Yeah, they don't get the recognition.
They don't get the recognition, and that's the whole base of the podcast, is get with guys like you that, you know, you deserve your flowers. I mean, taking a sport machine or a utility machine and just the money savings is so serious. I mean, we just had 4 years of the absolute worst economy. Joe Byron completely wrecked us all.
That's a whole nother topic.
Saving 12 grand, you know, and then you spend $3, $4, $5, $6 grand later. I mean, just that's the difference between getting a machine or not.
100%
for some families. I mean,
it really is. I mean, not everybody's just rolling in the dough, but we all like to have fun. Yeah. And you can do it on a budget. You don't have to have the $50,000 machine. You can have the $20,000 machine. You can have the $10,000 Razor 1000 that's a 2014, and I can make sure you get AC and heat on it and enclosed.
And I just feel like that's such a game changer, because now you scoop a 2014 for 10 grand.
Yeah.
Off marketplace.
Or less.
Super cheap.
Yep.
You make sure everything's right, slap some long travel on it, whether your flavor is rocks or mud, it doesn't matter. You call up, the buddy Jeremy.
Yep.
Now he can slap heat and AC in it, and you're in it less than your buddy is for that new machine that he just bought that he hates riding in the summertime because it's burning him out of the thing.
Exactly. Or it's not performing, the way that racer does, if it's a utility vehicle. So yeah, it's just, there's so many options. Really are. And I try to keep it budget friendly. Like I said, probably the most expensive 4-seater fully enclosed with AC and heat was about $6 grand.
Dang.
And that's Lexan's shatterproof 1/4-inch thick windows, hard windows. We're not talking about cheap zippers and that clog, or plastic windows that flap or get sticks that puncture through. This stuff is legitimately, I've rolled 4 times before and never shattered a window.
Wow.
I've landed in a rock bay upside down, never broke a windshield, a window, or the rear hatch. Did it scratch it? Absolutely. Something's got to, there's got to be a little something there.
Right.
It is scratch resistant, but it's not 12 foot high, land on a rock bed, scratch resistant. But it is shatterproof.
So, where do you think that the industry's headed in the next 5 years?
Oh my goodness. Now with these 4 cylinders out, I mean,
2,000 cc machines.
2,000 cc.
Now they're putting Pro Chargers on it.
Superchargers, turbos. Dude, the world's changing faster than my pocketbook can keep up with.
Same.
Because I want it all. I do. And Pro R is in my near future, but I haven't got it yet. I need to get rid of a few toys. But I like the idea of the alternators. I do see more and more of them going on these 4 cylinders from factory, which, you can run the AC and heat literally off of one battery if it has an alternator.
Right.
Full blast, I didn't even see the Pro R come off 14 volts.
Wow.
Yeah, I was super impressed with it. Now, the downside is, can they maybe do a better job on the alternators to handle the mud, the water, the elements? You know, when they're on vehicles, it's just highway use. You know, you don't see them out in the deep, deep mud and water. And that's something that needs to be improved, or maybe a tighter air box for them. So they can still breathe, so the alternator's not overheating, but at the same time just lasting longer.
Yeah.
So many of the Pro Rs, they're just alternators going out in the first couple months because they're in too much water, mud.
Yeah.
Caking them.
Yeah. It definitely, I see the room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
In a couple of podcasts, they were talking about the evolution of the sport going into factory heating and air conditioned sport units already.
Yep. And I can see it happening. Absolutely.
I think it's got to happen. I feel like
will.
that is literally like the next step of the evolution.
And what's great about it is I'm not even worried one bit it's not going to hurt my business any, because there is probably hundreds of thousands of machines out there that predate this that still want AC and air. So, I mean, not everybody's going to be able to go buy this sports machine, HVAC unit, you know. It wouldn't surprise me if they were $60,000, $70,000 machines.
Oh,
I mean, I'd say
my pocket hurts.
Just thinking about it. That's a house, guys. I mean, it's not a big house, but it's a trailer house.
Yeah,
it really
I mean,
is.
you're looking at brand new double wide prices for a toy.
For a toy that you're going to go out and most likely have a few trail sodies and maybe a little bit too much fun, and
you're definitely going to wreck it.
Yeah, it's going to happen, guys. So yeah, if you don't want to put all your pennies in one bucket, come see me. I'm happy to help out. And for the guys that are adrenaline junkies or just like to help people out on the trails, grab that 3,500 pound lift capacity Jack Be Quick, throw it on your machine, carry it with you out there on the trails.
I feel like that's also another thing that doesn't get the credit. Like, I know we talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but you look at Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
They came out with the Badlands off-road jack that only goes 23 inches tall.
Yeah.
So now you're still doing sketchy behavior to get it to work.
You are.
But yours works for a big tire.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It goes all the way up to 65 inches high on the top lifting point, and we go as low as 10 inches at our lowest lifting point.
So whether you got a golf cart or a Bobby Cobb bike,
I'm lifting you up.
Jack Be Quick is definitely the way to go.
Yep. And if you got one of those buddies that can't seem to keep his machine together out on the trails, maybe the Jack Wagon's the way to go. Everybody
Jack Wagon. That's honestly one of the funniest product names I've ever heard.
The Jack Be Quick and Jack Wagon is definitely a name that's hard to forget. Good buddy of, actually my business partner Ernie, came up with Jack Be Quick, and then when I came up with the idea of the the trailer, the recovery trailer, first thing came to mind is like, dude, we gotta call this the Jack Wagon. I love this. This is a great name. I'm rolling with it now. At first I was skeptical, but as time's gone on, it's memorable.
So I think my last question, it's starting to get a little nipply out here.
Nipply. You see my nipple?
Oh, what are you doing later? So the last question I got for you, you know, you travel all over the country. You've seen the coolest and the worst.
Yeah.
Top 3 parks you've been to.
Ooh. Okay, right now I'd say my favorite, and it's just extreme off-road. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm in the Bahamas riding and doing mud and sand trails. I mean, the women in extreme off-road. It's fun, man. There are girls in thongs. There's always a great live band. Some of the most ridiculous rides.
That Mexican OT pops in.
Oh, every time. Always.
All the time. Hey, that Mexican OT, if you see this, call me. I'll put my phone number in the description. Okay, I've been trying to get you on a podcast, or just message me back on Instagram.
Yeah.
But extreme, definitely on my bucket list.
Yep, I love extreme. It is definitely one of my #1 parks, if not is my #1. But that's just kind of a catering type of park. As far as some of the most brutal riding goes, between I love Flat Nasty or Windrock. Both are a great time. Brutal hills, a lot of boulders and rocks.
Yeah, shout out Brimstone recreational area. You guys blew up my motor last year, and I don't know if I'll ever be back. It was them that did it. It ain't me.
Yeah, it definitely had nothing to do with your
Not
drive
me at all.
Any trail sodies, nothing like that. It was just
Craziest thing is it blew up
yeah.
on the asphalt.
Really?
Yes. I was going up the hills, going in and out, and I was low on oil.
Damn.
Boom.
That'll
Rod
do
knock.
it every time.
Sound like a Jehovah's Witness on a Monday afternoon.
Knock, 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 knock.
Oh, for real though. Like, it's cool to hear, you know, a lot of my podcasts, they're all like, oh yeah, Sabine, or,
Yeah.
you know, so hearing it from your perspective of Windrock
Yeah.
and Extreme, it's like you got one
Completely
and then the
opposites.
other.
And that's just me. I like everything. I mean, I have nothing against the mud world either. I think it's awesome. I love watching these big horsepower turn 60-inch tires and just hydroplaning across 8 feet of water.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. But I can't afford to do it all, so I do all but that.
Well, next time that I have a open seat,
Yeah.
I will definitely let you know.
Let me know.
And
I'd love to ride with you. I'll get dirty.
I got 44s. I mean, it ain't big,
But it's big enough.
but we'll try.
It actually makes it more fun because it's more challenging.
Yeah.
You know, you get so big, everything's a little pothole for you. You know?
It's just like you're driving down the interstate with a whoop whoop.
That's it. And then the stock machine disappears.
Well, I really do appreciate you taking your time. Shout out Cody at CW MOTORSPORTS. I mean, he's throwing this beautiful after party for his open house that he had today.
Yep.
And you guys, CW MOTORSPORTS for all of your reman needs.
Yep.
Motors, transmissions, differentials, you name it, he's got it.
Aftermarket
And,
parts, advice, just anything.
yeah.
Cody is the guy. And you won't talk to a nicer, more down-to-earth business owner. Half the time you won't even get a chance to talk to the business owner of a shop. It's always employees, and Cody is always on
That's
deck.
why I like guys like Cody.
Yeah.
You know, it's not 17 different people touching something that they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And then completely cover your ears, kids, dicking it up.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, another thing about Jack Be Quick or Ride and Chill, it's all me, guys. I mean, I have my business partner, Ernie, that helps with the jacks, assembling, but as far as the AC and enclosures, I do every one of them by hand.
Cool.
I'm getting closer to the point of maybe pushing it out to the public and trusting them to assemble some of this. I'm just not quite there yet.
Yeah,
But
which is completely understandable because some people don't have a clue.
they don't.
But for the DIYers,
Yeah.
still take it to this man and make sure it's right.
I just like to know that if anybody's at fault, it's me.
Yeah.
And there's no one else to blame. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being on this
Dude,
episode of
thank
In the
you.
Wild.
yes, it was fun. Thanks, guys, for
Episode
listening.
27 in the books. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see who's on the next one.
Awesome. See you soon.
Yes, sir. We'll see you on the trails.
All right, buddy. Later.